Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We're All Psychic. And today, guess who's back? I told you on Instagram, if you found out earlier today, her name's Cheryl. And Cheryl is back. Cheryl, would you like to say hello?
Lisa, hello. It's great to be back, and it's great to see you again. Thanks for having me.
I am very thrilled that you're here. And I have to ask you again, do you still think we're all psychic?
Absolutely. I think we're all psychic. And, I think it's growing too. And you can call it psychic or you can call it intuition. But it is about more and more people trusting the gut, right? It's that gut instinct that has a lot to do with it. I really think you can open your psychic abilities up in that way. So lots to talk about along that.
Yeah, and happening. Something I've noticed is almost everybody I know who has stuck their toe in this water, like around now, they start seeing numbers in the past 5-6 years. That's the first thing. And anyone who hasn't really, I don't really know about that I knew. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where that's what happened to them first. They started seeing the ones and the threes and the twos, and they started like wondering why they're seeing them. They're noticing them, I guess.
They're starting to. What I'm noticing is people feeling like the future happening, like they feel something stirring or they feel the energy growing. They're actually feeling the results of the full moon energy, but they feel something's coming. It's exciting. It's big. It's a great time. Actually, right now is a great time to be manifesting. It's a great time for everyone because the energy is
us too. Us Tauruses.
Is that right? Tauruses. Oh my God!
Isn't this our time? Isn't Jupiter in our little happy place? Yeah,
it is. It is. And then all the planets aligned the other day.
Yes,
right?
I saw that.
Are you aware of that? Oh,
I saw that with my friend who got me into this apartment. We went out onto the sky deck, and there were some visitors here and visiting, and I guess they have places they can rent for the weekend here.
Oh, okay.
And so we chatted with them and looked at the stars. I took videos. I saw everyone. We didn't have a telescope, so I didn't get to see Saturn and Neptune.
Right. Yeah, that was the hard one, but yeah, it was so beautiful, and they were right there. That's what was so exciting about it. It's like, oh my God, they're right there. It's like I was looking at with my camera, my binoculars, and it was just amazing. It was
like you could just grab Venus. Was she not the star? I mean, Venus.
Totally. The brightest of them all. And you just followed this line across the sky, and there they were. It
was weird. And we had the app, the phone app where you can look at
that's
and that's how I couldn't see as well as my friend can, but he would find them, and then I'd keep until I saw it.
Yeah.
But you're right; they were right in the line, and that was really cool.
Very cool.
And Mercury, I saw just right after sunset when the moon rose was like a little sliver, and Mercury was just above it.
That's right. You had to look way off to the side for that.
Yeah, it was really.
To think that they're right above us. And we'll never see this again till 2040, they say. So it was a special night, special few nights there.
It was a special time, and it feels special, not just because you know about it. Maybe it just feels like there's like a charge in the air, and I don't know how to explain it, but I do feel that way too. I think that I'm not much of a global sense type of psychic reader, energetic reader, but I do, like you just said earlier, like more people are getting interested in this. And I do feel like a sense of something building for March this month, like something building. Do you feel that too for this month?
I do, especially. And, people are like, they're having these hunches and they're going with it. They're like, well, I'm going to try this, or why am I picking up this information? Or I knew that,
Love that.
I love it too. And I love it, the questions that they're asking. So what's happening is so many people are making themselves more available, to their own abilities. It's like they're inviting them in. They're encouraging it now. They want to explore it. They want to work on it. They want to practice it. I get a lot of people wanting to practice it, signing up for my classes, what have you. But yeah, it's about moving forward on this path that we're all on this spiritual journey. And for the month of March, I really feel like this door opening or a window, but it's a big door. It's not just, it's like this.
It's something. That's what it feels like.
It's like more light coming in than ever before, or a higher frequency of light coming in.
Something,
Yeah, something's happening.
I don't know. I keep coming in my readings. I do. I keep having March 17th come up for like a connection date for like, he's going to connect they're going to get in touch with you, or they're going to go out, you're going to see them, or something happens around that time, 15th through the 18th, the night, somewhere around in there. But the 17th comes through really strong for me, and the 18th. And I don't know what it is, but I don't, like I said, I don't pick up on the bigger things, but it feels like around in there. And just because of the guides telling me the same date for all these different people who are not knowing each other at all, they're different clients from all over the place. They all have the same day. Like, unless my guides are doing something to me, which it can be tricky like that. And then I'll be really embarrassed. Rahu. Listeners and watchers, this is a video on Spotify, and I was telling her about Rahu and Ketu in Vedic astrology just before we got on here.
Yeah. I love these. I love all that you're talking about Rahu and Ketu. So I'm excited about Vedic. And look, it is about everyone. This is what's happening too. You're bringing it up is like a synchronistic effect. Like you're feeling it too. Oh my God, I'm feeling it too. It's like synergy, synchronistic, where a lot's happening individually for transformation, but a lot's kind of happening collectively or on a group larger scale.
It really is. And I wonder why. And I think some of it is we have a lot more time on our hands too. After COVID started, people working from home, and people found time to explore themselves and look into this stuff, instead of always having to grind or drive or, whatever. And with AI to do so much.
I think we have the time change too this month, talking about time.
Yeah.
And that time is becoming a little bit more, it's becoming a little bit less, not important, but it's becoming a little more subtle where, it's almost like it doesn't matter what time it is. There's always enough time, or the time itself maybe not as important in our lives. Like we have a schedule to keep, like I understand that, but it's almost like we're getting so much done, or we're doing so much more. How's that? Because it's almost like being more accessible, like AI, I guess you could use that as an example. Like more it's becoming easier because more things are accessible. How's that?
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. And we can share all kinds of communication like that.
Yeah.
So even if we don't speak the same language, we have translators on our devices, to talk to anybody, anywhere, at any time.
Yeah.
It's just, the future is boggling.
It is. I hope people are using their psychic abilities to really tune into their own health, their own wellness, include yourself in your own abilities. Don't just look out to see who's doing what, or let me make the next prediction. Like tune into your own presence, your own beautiful spiritual presence, and really explore, expand, really create with that imagination about what you want to manifest or heal or attract. I mean, that's where the joy is in life. And that's really where the power lies, is that we're doing all these things and we can do them together or support one another in it.
The beauty of
your beautiful friend there, your soul friend.
Let me see if it'll give me a kiss for you, sure. Listeners, you can't see it. Oh, I get cat blood. No, I don't want to kiss that.
No.
He did this the last podcast. I think I did. He was showing his cat butt the whole end of the podcast.
But it's kind of a soul to soul connection, you and Sandra, right? It's like it's this beautiful shift in the way of our perspective, right? So it's almost like we're thinking, okay, we're all in this together. How can we work together? Let's explore unity, more compassion and kindness. Let's see how we can use our psychic abilities of, sensing or hearing, the clairvoyance, right? Clairvoyance is large, and how can we use this to help ourselves and to help other people?
Right. Yeah. There's so many ways. And all we'd have to do is get on a ChatGPT AI and ask them how. I'm going to do that after the podcast.
That's a great idea.
Help the world with our energy. ChatGPT AI. I will ask it. Well, if you want to entertain the listeners, and I can ask it right now.
For right now.
So listeners, Cheryl's taking over. You and Gandalf have the stage. I'll ask it ChatGPT, but I'll sit here. I know what you can do. Right. Listeners and watchers, we were going to talk about what a good listener Cheryl is. And I was going to talk about how great of a listener she is in active listening and how great that is in spirituality, listen with everything. But now you get to listen to her. So she's
Thank you.
You speak really eloquently and
Oh,
just
no,
say things really
thanks.
well. So
Thank you, Lisa. So look, Lisa asked me this great question about active listening. And active listening is really important being a medium and a spiritual intuitive. I mean, you need to be an active listener to listen to spirit, to listen to that first voice, to listen to your intuition.
yeah.
And, there is something about being an active listener and then also a passive listener. So, for
Like
example,
me right now, I'm very passive. I'm listening, but it doesn't look like I am.
you are. I hear you. It's being absorbed. You're still absorbing the information. But look, passive, being a medium, a psychic, an intuitive, energy healer, all that you are and all that we're all working towards, we do have to practice active listening and passive listening. And the difference is that active listening, we're actually using more of our awareness. We're using more present moment awareness. We're listening to our breath or paying attention to the breath while we're here. So you're here, you're grounded. Where passive listening is more about allowing the information just to kind of flow through you, flow by you, flow to you and from you. So there is two types of listening. For example,
Okay.
Meditation is a passive listening where we're just listening for the moment. We're listening. We're waiting to receive, right? Receiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where active listening is more about mediumship, where you're connecting with your guides and angels or your departed loved ones. That's more active listening with spirit world. So that's the kind of the difference.
That's really great way to put that. I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't do my thing because I got hooked on listening. Hooked on listening. Really, that's a really good way to explain that. And I didn't think about that because there are times when it's better to just absorb the information. Like I always feel that way about like prayers or spell words or something like that. Or like even like when people do light language, they sing and talk in light language.
You just kind of like, it's so beautiful.
He just bit me. He barely bit. He like, no bites. He wants me to do no bites. It's a game we play.
Oh, is
he says he bites me barely, and then I just put my hand over his mouth and say no bites, and he goes,
yeah.
It's adorable. Where's my chat? I know it's on my iPhone, but I don't have my iPhone with me. But I really am curious about what it might say, so I'll have to have you back, and we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that when we meet again. Because really, I mean, if you think about using your psychic abilities and really how people develop their psychic abilities, people ask me and really does come down to practice. But
yes,
just to let people know, I'm sure people would love to know in many ways they're already psychic and they don't even realize it. That's so really true. The key, right? We just need to point it out. Once you have someone like a coach, like you or me, point it out to people, that then they can take
like,
it and run.
You notice that? I do that. Oh my gosh, that's what it's not. Nobody else does it like that. They don't do it at all. Stuff like that. It's like everybody. I also think everybody has kind of their own energy signature. I can kind of smell people's energy. It's like in witches, if they have potions, for example, and they put their magic in their potion or their oil, magic oils or something, I can smell their energetic magical signature.
Right.
I don't know if I'm not. It's like clairsmelliance, I call it clairsmelliance. I don't know what it's really called.
It's a great name. I love it. I'm going to use that clairsmelliance.
I do a lot. I want to learn the word, but every time I look it up, I'm like, clairsmelliance is so much easier.
It's so much easier. But make it your own, right? Make it your own.
It is
mine. You may start something new there. Now I can't get out of my head.
You're going to start saying it too.
But really, I mean, people like when the phone rings and someone's ringtone, or you, like you said, you smell someone's essence or what have you in the potions that they make. Yeah. And, or if you hear your name being called, and you turn around and no one's there, it's like spirits working with us. They're working with us by helping us tune in. Or sometimes you hear things or things and you don't know how you know them, but you just know them, that's
sure. Like Missy used to say. Yeah.
Wait, what did she say?
She said she called that the no-nos, like KNO, KNOW, KNOW.
Yeah, the no-nos.
You know.
Claircognizant. You no-nos. So we have Claire no-nos and Claire Smellians.
We're renaming it. We're updating it.
Well, what do you call clairvoyance?
I was just thinking of that. I don't know if I'm witty enough to come up with something.
Yeah, well, or clear audience hearing.
Clear hearing.
I don't know.
We'll think about it. We'll add that for you listeners for the next one.
Maybe only 2 for this show. That's a good one.
We have lots of homework.
That's enough.
Get ready for.
But also, let me just say that we're moving into this fifth dimension, right? We're moving into this fifth dimensional perception of reality, of healing, of movement, of surrender and forgiveness, and really learning to manifest and use our psychic abilities because we're listening to our heart, right? We're moving more into a heart intelligence. We're moving more into a heart flow. We're moving into more of the flow of life, right? And that's what I mean. Like, we're just following the intuitive light, and that is our natural abilities. Being psychic is a natural ability. It's using your intuition and maybe exploring that. So you're exploring your intuition in ways of hearing, seeing, however we receive physically, we're receiving intuitively.
You're absolutely correct. And I do think we have like stuff, like I talked about this before, like whiskers on cats and dogs, like they do something. I don't know what. We have stuff like that too. I think like our hair stands up and you can feel it and stuff sometimes, and I think a lot of people, like my best friend Akasha is always saying our hair is one of our most magical features. And I think she's right. Because I can feel the energy when I do Reiki. The first thing I want to do afterwards when I brush off the energy is pull it out of my hair. That's the first thing I want to do. Sage my hair.
A lot of empaths, super sensitive people do that. They just to tell you, it sounds just like you're an empath. I'm sure you are.
Oh yeah, I did totally.
Yeah. We clear the energy back here in the neck area. That's
really where I feel it, and I hold so much there, and I have neck issues there, but I always do whenever I do this and just kind of pull. Maybe you can see it. I don't know if you can see energy.
Yeah,
that I can feel it pulling out. It still just grows back, but it stays gone all day. When I go to sleep, it's there, and then I have to work it out.
Really healthy.
I can feel it though.
Really healthy too to clean your energy field after a lot of work with other people or being around a lot of other crowded areas, or anytime we feel tired or exhausted, it's probably because we do need to kind of strengthen our energy or breathe in more light into our energy field, because we've used so much of it. We've just been out using it, giving it away, or just being in touch with other people, being in situations that might even be negative or toxic, where we didn't invite it by chance, or maybe it happened. But it is about learning to manage your own temple, your own faculty, right? We have to be our own goddesses, our own. We have to take care of ourselves.
We are. I've been trying to own that mentality really bad, like really hardcore for about maybe a year now. Like I am the Empress. I always identified with the Empress card in the tarot, but now I'm like, I don't identify with her. I am her. I'm trying to think that way, so I can get that mindset. I'm productive, I'm abundant, and I'm luxuriously not pregnant. She's pregnant, listeners and watchers, if you don't know. Usually the Empress is pregnant in traditional tarot.
But pregnancy for her would have other meanings, right?
Yeah, like a creative birth. It's creating, from you.
Creating, right? It's creating.
From your essence. From your whatever you got. That's all you got. You make something with it. I think that's great,
I didn't know she was pregnant. And I pulled that card many times. But
she's the mother figure. She's going she's holding her belly if you look at her.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. She's not all the way out there, but she's about about 7 months maybe.
Good perception. Good clairvoyant or good.
No, I think I read it before I noticed it. Oh. For sure. It wasn't clairvoyant. It was education. No, I studied the tarot deeply when I was I didn't for years. I learned through the Osho Zen. I just did it with intuition and words on the cards. And then I really wanted to learn traditional tarot. And I just immersed myself in it for like a year or 2 years, and then I made a deck. So it's just I just spent a lot of time with it, and I still do. It's just like my favorite modality to start. Like, it's a great place to start, when I'm offering a reading, or when somebody doesn't know what they want to talk about or something and you just want to see what happens. It's a great place to start because they're just cards. Everybody knows what a card is, and most people are not afraid of tarot cards. If, most now though,
Yeah, you're right. Now,
20 years ago when I was doing this stuff, or 10 years ago, even, it was not like, 10 years ago was better.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, no, they were the devil in the South. Even other places, it's kind of like frauds and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But in the South, it was more like Satan, and now even here in the South, in Alabama, where I used to live, and in Nashville now, people are very accepting. And I can tell people I work as a psychic. I still hold back sometimes and don't tell them from habit. But I'll just say I work from home, and then they'll look at me suspiciously. So I should say what I do now because it's okay. I should never have to keep it quiet, but I felt like I had to,
Well, it wasn't talked about, like you said, back then.
No.
And when we did mention it, it wasn't always invited, right?
Oh,
So you
never.
always wait for someone to ask you about it or come to you and ask for a reading or bring up the topic for us to even feel comfortable around that situation. I know growing up psychic and my family psychic, it was natural in our home to talk about it. We had books everywhere.
That's so cool.
And there weren't a lot of books. I don't want to make it sound like there were, but there were very interesting books back then. Edgar Cayce, I always recommend him. And Sylvia Browne had a lot of neat stuff.
I love Sylvia Browne's books.
I know,
Yes.
So much fun. But look, it wasn't talked outside of our house because the friends, no one talked about it. It just wasn't part of a everyday conversation. Nobody knew about it, or they didn't know a lot about it, right?
Yeah. That's so cool. I bet you guys educated so many people in that area.
Yeah, we had fun. And a lot of people that my mother is an actress, and we hung out with a lot of actors, so to speak, in theater and what have you.
Theater people.
Theater people. So we'd have after stage parties, right? Or the last the party on the last play. But the people who are actors, I have to say, are very intuitive, and they're very inquisitive, and they're curious, and they're asking all the questions you and I are asking.
I'm so glad you said that.
I
think the best actors are really great empaths. They're incredibly good at it, at doing it, projecting it. You know what I mean? Like somebody, because that's how I work usually with my empathy. Instead of sucking everything in, I just push out, and I keep some kind of energy flowing through me.
Great.
Like through the earth and up and through me, and then I just push it all out. So I don't affect anybody. That's what I try to do anyway.
No, it sounds great. And also you're using Mother Earth energy, which that's like the number one thing we tell everyone, right? You got to stay grounded. You got to be connected here to the planet. And you got to really, understand. I mean, people think maybe they don't even realize how powerful Mother Earth is. What amazing healing energy she has. So healing and so wanting us to ask her for help, or help us manifest, or help us heal, or create, or release. Like that could be in some way our first go-to is to ask Mother Mary, or Mother Mary. I wonder why she's coming up, but that maybe there's a reading.
The Empress, Mother Mary, and Gaia. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Being grounded, like you said, like bringing up Mother Nature, bringing up the Earth's energy. Yeah, a divine feminine goddess. That's where we're going, right? Divine feminine. That's the fifth dimension.
I love that. That is perfect. I want to be there. Are we there yet? Do you know when we're going to arrive? Or we just kind of gradually? I think it was kind of like a gradual, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, okay, we're here.
Yeah. I agree. I think some of us are there, but I don't think we stay there. I think a lot of us go there. We come out of it. We go back to 3D, third dimension. We stay here for a while. We create the problems and the chaos and the duality of things. And then we learn from our lessons, or maybe we are feeling serene and beautiful here. And we have these moments of 5D where we kind of have that oneness epiphany or realizations. But I think, like you said, it's more of a gradual. It's not like I'm here one day and I'm there the next. It's a flow to where you may not even know it until you've been
it's like
there
a way.
For a while.
It's like a whole shift in the energetic body to me, but it's also a shift in perspective of. It's hard to explain, but let's, like with Misty, the last podcast I did with Misty, we talked about how to feel your energy field. And we talked about like putting your attention span on something and concentrating basically is how, and that's how you can feel your energy and stuff. In that summary, very quickly summarize it. And it makes me think of like, when I was doing that podcast, afterwards I started playing with like rhythm in the room. You know how every room kind of has a rhythm, or you're always bopping. Yeah. You know, it's like we had a podcast about the sound current recently, and I learned about that, and I do hear that, and I didn't know what it was or anything. And so what I've been doing, that podcast guest told me to send or somehow bring the sound current into my cellular DNA level to help with my health.
Okay.
Because it's genetic. And so I've been practicing with that. And I can actually, after that podcast with Misty and that podcast with that, I can actually now, I've been practice, like you said, the only way to do it. I can feel all my chakras now and get them to kind of rotate like this way.
Nice.
And then all of them. And then I can also make my body, my energetic body go like this. But you can't see it, I guess, unless you watch energy. Like I'm doing it right now, but it's like I can feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's new to me, but it's at first it was like I couldn't, it was hard to do. It was like, you know, it was almost like trying to pick something up in a way, you know.
It's a practice and a class in energy. That's really what it comes down to, is learning about your own energy field and helping everybody understand that, you know, how powerful we are as spiritual beings, and we have all this power. If we could all
be using our energy together, can you imagine what we'd be capable of? I mean, really?
That's why a power of prayer and my healing prayer circles, you know, exponential power of prayer and meditation, just like Deepak Chopra. I said this recently to someone that, you know, Deepak Chopra would say, if all the children in the world meditated or prayed just for 1 minute together at the same time, the whole planet would shift and heal. Like just create that amazing high frequency, the whole planet would heal. You know, isn't that incredible?
That reminds me, I don't know if it was a song or something that spawned, I don't remember what this was, but it was in the 90s. People talked about holding hands across the earth. Do you remember that thing? What that was or anything? It was just very distant in my memory. I just remember it. And I think people tried to do it. Do you remember that at all?
I think they did try to do it.
Yeah, but oceans.
Good distance. It brought a lot of attention to it, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And that was the goal. And so, you know, maybe we're coming back to that in some way, where we're working on the collective energy. Like, what if we did this together? Or what if we, you know, helped each other in some way? Like, how powerful would that be? And it would be extremely powerful, especially in the power of love, which is the highest vibration out there, right? We heal with love. We manifest.
Everybody be paralyzed if we were all just feeling love like that. We're all just like, oh. I feel great. I'm so happy. Nothing would get done.
That would be okay. We would be spiritual beings. We'd be in our. That's all we're asked.
Right. But it's just the best feeling. I mean, it's so vulnerable sometimes too. At the same time, but when I feel love, like romantic love or friendship love or family love, any kind of love for cat love. This cat's so cute. It's just like it comes in through the heart chakra or the heart area for sure. And it kind of down in my, you know, physically, I feel it. I feel love physically and it feels great. You know, in my head, it feels like it clears out any problems. I guess that's, you know, just, and it's like, there's like a moment of timelessness, you know, it's not a moment. It's just,
well, that's a beautiful invitation for anyone. And do you know that you channel also? Do you know that you're a channeler?
I do mediumship, and I just consciously channeled for the first time about 3-4 weeks ago, probably about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And I was doing a reading, and the spirit just said, I can do this a lot faster if you just let me.
Wow.
Because I have a podcast guest who's a regular guest, and her name is Barbara With, and she channels a lot. She mainly channels Albert Einstein on our show. But when I watch people do stuff, I tend to learn how to do what they do. So I've watched her a bunch of times channeling, and I watched some other people channel, and then I just did it for this one client, and I know I'm capable of it and how it works. But I don't know if I want to do it again. You know, I don't know. It wasn't. I never wanted to do it because I didn't like I was scared. I didn't know what it was. How, if something's in here at all, but I don't think it is. I mean, obviously at the times I've been blacked out drunk, I truly believe a spirit came in and took over if I was walking and talking, So in that way I've channeled, but,
well, look, just then when you were talking about love and we were talking about healing with the power of love and you were talking about it, it's almost like you were channeling that energy of love. And that's when I felt a channel invitation, like, she could channel if she, and that's why I mentioned
I
it
felt it come in through here. Yeah. Like I always feel stuff coming in when they want to come in, they kind of tap right here. They don't tap. They're just like, can I come in? I did when I do. It was funny that you said you noticed it right then, because that's when I don't know what I'm saying. When I do readings a lot, I don't know. I don't remember my readings, and I've heard a lot of people say that they don't remember their readings. Most of us don't, is what I've learned from the podcast. And I always thought it was like a spiritual protection for them, so their business isn't known. But they're like, no, you're channeling. Kind of was what most people say.
Right. It could be both. I know that sometimes if the energy is really, really strong, you could always ask the spirit guides or people to kind of maybe bring it through a little bit lighter if you want. But I do want to say, I believe the reason why most people don't remember is because they're in an altered state. That's what it's, an altered state.
It is an altered state. It's very altered. It's a trance. It's high energy. But
high energy.
Like it's a high energy feeling to me. If it were a vibration, it'd be like, but it really feels more like a very big, deep wave, like if it were a wave,
Well, I think it is. I think it is a wave. I think you're right, and you're explaining it beautifully because it's a brain wave. So a brain wave is being altered, because we're relaxing, and then we go into that alpha, delta, beta. There's different stages, of course, and there's different types of trance or channeling to go into. But like you said, vibration is more higher or different, and it's different than being in an altered state. So, and look, a lot of people are in altered states. Let's just be clear that when you go to when you go to a movie theater and you watch an amazing movie, action packed, whatever, right? You just go into the movie, right? You become a part of that movie. That is an altered state, right? Where you walk out and you're like, "Wow, it was an amazing event. What an experience that was!" Right?
Yes,
it's an altered state. It
is an altered state, and some movies will just rip your heart out. And you're like,
I know.
You don't know those people. That dog didn't get murdered. It's like not real.
In the moment it happened, I know. But it's so true. I mean, and even television, can take us into altered state or, what have you. So meditation, it takes us into altered states.
Love that. You're right. And you just, like when you said so many of us are in altered states already, I'm living in Nashville, and I'm like, downtown Nashville, I would say altered states are everywhere. And it's interesting. I do think we can get some interesting information in those types of altered states too, if we're not too far gone. I think we did have a podcast about that a long time ago. It's called Altered States, and it was in the first or second year, and I made it a bonus episode because I just never did that before. I wanted to see what it would do, and it just disappeared. I don't know what happened to that podcast.
Well, it's a great title for a podcast.
Yeah, it was a really great podcast. I thought, I don't know if it was a good podcast because it's been gone, but it was on there for like a year, and then as a bonus episode, and then it just kind of vanished. And it's not in my library or anything. Isn't that weird?
So look, here's the deal also with psychic abilities is that, we're talking about altered states and the fifth dimension and frequency and vibrations. But when you're practicing psychic abilities, you kind of are tuning in, right? We are tuning in. We're tuning into a higher awareness, right? We can agree to that, right? We're tuning into a higher awareness that we are naturally. And that may feel a little different than just our day-to-day life, right? When we're busy, running out the door, getting to work, what have you. So it does feel a little bit different. So, and it actually feels good, right? It feels good when you work from the heart space, when you're working with the energy of love to help someone in your psychic work or in your own work, right? You're using your tarot cards and, it's a beautiful experience. I mean, I think that's also why people love to develop their abilities because they know
it feels right. It's fun.
It feels right. It feels right.
That's a great way to put it. I've never heard anyone say that before, but that's a really good way to put it. It just feels right. And every time I fought against it when I was younger, it said, this is illogical, this is not happening. That's what I wish someone had said to me,
Me too. And look, the fear is real. I mean, it's okay to be afraid of something that you don't know anything about, right? I mean, that we could make a list of things we don't know about. But really, when you have someone like you, or anyone that with compassionate heart, just it's a great invitation, or listening to your show even. I'm sure, your guests are all beautiful teachers, and it's like picking up information and kind of finding your own way, and maybe even getting a teacher if you wish, or taking a class with a group of people. That's always fun. Kind of learning about your abilities. It's a fun way to open up, to express yourself in this world, to manifest what you want, to kind of help you, maybe make your life easier. Maybe even
it will.
If it just
it's going to make it better. It can't make it worse. I mean, unless you want to just do shadow work your whole life. That'd be really hard life. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. No, but that's true. It's enhanced my life ever since I just like the tune in drop. What is it? Dennis Leary? Is it Dennis Leary? He used to say that. Not Dennis Leary. The acid psychedelic writer. He used to say tune in.
Timothy Leary.
Timothy Leary. That's his. What did he say? Tune in, drop out. Except we're not dropping out. We're like, what are we doing? We're tuning in and
I don't know.
And we're not dropping out though. We're like amping up. We're turning the amps to 11 or something, I guess.
Hey, look, we really want another benefit, about psychic abilities is, look, you want to, you don't know who to trust, or you don't know what you're reading is real, or you don't know, what job to take, or what finances to invest in, or, what relationships to get into, or, where to live. And look, you use your psychic abilities, and
to make those decisions.
You're helping yourself, and you're asking, for the higher vibration of love to step into your life, and that you have naturally, by the way, but you're opening up to it. It's all about learning more about our own selves as spiritual beings. That's really what we're talking about today is, hey, you're psychic, and it's an intuitive, natural ability, and you'll get better at it when you practice it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to practice, and it's fun, and it comes with so many great feel-good benefits to it, about kind of feeling more confident even in your life.
It made me a lot more confident. I was terribly shy, and I never felt good about myself until I started realizing why. But I had to look there. I didn't even know I felt that way.
I don't know. Well, that's it.
I knew I felt that way, but I didn't know there was an alternative and I could do something about it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you had anxiety or not when you were younger.
Very much.
But sometimes I think anxiety, not all the time, I'm not speaking for everybody, but sometimes anxiety can be maybe an invitation to explore your intuition and psychic abilities and your spiritual side, step into the spiritual what if I'm picking up on the nervousness in the room, for example, and it's not me,
Right.
Wouldn't that be helpful? That would be so helpful.
If it's just an option to think about, for one thing, a lot of people are going to go, oh. I mean, if not everyone who's never thought about it before, if it's explained to them in a way that the words make sense. That's what I think is a problem with a lot of like psychic, the term. A lot of people will come on the show and be like, psychic, I just don't like that word. For that, I have a problem with it. I'm like, yeah, I do too, but it's like, I have a lot of terms. There's not enough though. We have so many people have different connotations. There need to be more words for the energy work. There are a lot. I found out a lot more doing this podcast. I found out all kinds of terms that were already there, but
let me look.
Connotation. I'm sorry.
No, I want to look up the definition of psychic because I did. It's a beautiful definition. It's like, it means like soul. And I know, and I'm the same way with you. I'm like, let me see. It means like, it means like soul mind is what it means. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, what if we just went around and said soul mind?
I love that.
But you're right. It carries a taboo around it. It kind of has a bad rap.
I like
it has a bad rap.
It does have a bad rap, and it has all kinds of reasons for it. But every person I've ever met in my human being life of this one who said they were psychic they had really hard lives. They were pretty interesting, and people were just drawn to them like magnets and told them all their problems. Yeah. The people I saw who were in the field when I was younger, and I didn't think I was psychic, or I didn't know, or I wanted to be, and I was still, kind of on the fence. And then when I got into the field, same thing. Still,
yeah.
A lot of people had very hard lives, worked their way through it, and they want to show other people that they can do it too. However they get to do it.
Beautiful. And look, people who have challenging lives or who deal with a lot of stuff in this life, it's like they, in some way, they agreed in their soul contract or before they got here, they're like, look, I want to learn a lot more in that lifetime. So a lot more challenges, and really the best, most sensitive people too. They have the biggest hearts, or they have the most to offer, or the most experiences to learn from. So it's a beautiful thing that they're teaching. Yeah. And they're there for others. Yeah.
Well, Cheryl, I just loved having you back again. You got to come back like tomorrow, or we'll have one scheduled tomorrow. Anytime you want to come on the show, you're welcome. And tell the listeners about yourself again. Tell them who you are, what you do, and where you are, and how they can find you.
Well, my website is mediumcheryl.com, and you can find me on my social at Medium Cheryl. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all those socials at Medium Cheryl. I have a wonderful Sunday night healing prayer circle that's free to join. It's online. And then I have some great things this year. I have energy transformation sessions, which is so neat because it helps you build your spiritual muscle, which is
that's what I was just talking about with moving my energetic body.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're talking about the energy field. So mostly this membership, it's about building the energy field around you, right? Or keeping it strong and healthy. How's that? Yes. Or releasing and forgiving, and the
all kinds of stuff you can do with that. All kinds of
stuff.
Just work with the energy field. Wow.
Absolutely. And look, I always do readings. I have a monthly Circle of Love online event. So I'd love to have people join that, or schedule a private reading with me on Zoom, or, the phone. We're doing everything, virtual these days. But look, it really works, and it's amazing the convenience it has. I think in some way, being virtually, in some way, I think people who are maybe working from their home or their home office, or they don't have to travel, for example, to get a reading with me. Look, that is a good thing because it keeps your energy comfortable.
Safer too,
safer. It's like
you don't feel as vulnerable.
No stress. Hopefully, it's less stressful from all of that. So it's much nicer. Yeah.
I love the phone call reading too. I just love that. I like getting them, getting readings a lot. I can't read for myself very well, but sometimes I can, but I love to get readings. I just love it. And it helps so much with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always follow the advice, but I'll get readings on. I'm one of those people who ask the same question to like 5 or 6 different people I know or get readings on. And I will take all these answers and look at them,
Yeah.
And then usually follow my heart and take the direction I, wanted to do anyway. But I will look at all the information. If there's like I talked to 5 people and they're all like, no, don't tell that dude you love him. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all 5 of you said that?
Someone's out there. Someone's telling me something.
Yeah, they know something. Logically, they know something. But it's. But I will put all of her information in the description of the podcast. Links to all the free stuff, and her website, and her social media stuffs, and let's see, you got to find some. I want to thank my sponsor, Everclear. I would like to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths to get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And it's everclear.com. And it's an application on iPhone, Android. You can chat and call. And I am an advisor on there. My name was Lisa P, but I think we're changing my name to Lisa Russick. It hasn't happened yet. I haven't checked. Might have happened by now. I think we just decided to yesterday. So my name will actually be my real name on that platform. So that's what we're going to try to do. And lastly, Cheryl, we cover so many great topics.
I know.
I guess I'll get some advice about how to take a step back when you're in a conversation and pay attention to your listening style.
Yeah, right. So look, anytime you want to step back and just take a moment and breathe, right? So pay attention to your breath. Anytime you're in a difficult situation, or you want to just reevaluate where you are, or just to explore, like you said, where is my energy? It's exactly right. We need to be asking these questions, like check in with your feet. Where are my feet? Where are they, like in 10 different places at one
Sometimes they
time?
feel that way, don't they? Like my feet are down there, I see them, but they feel like they're going.
And then while we're breathing, we want to say, what am I thinking about? Where are my thoughts? Maybe they're across the room on something, or they're on 10 different things. We don't know. But
Yeah.
it's like coming back. It's like calling yourself back home, like bring in my breath, bring in my awareness, come home to my heart. Like, I'm good. Checking in with yourself is what I call it. Like, do a
I
check
love
in.
that. I have something like
Yeah.
that I do too. Is it kind of like a short meditation kind of thing you
Yeah.
do?
And step into something that you're grateful for.
Oh,
And really, that really is almost like you're sending out love and you're asking for more love to come in. Like, I'm
I
asking for
love
more
that.
love
Step
and
into
energy to
something
come
that
in,
makes
but
you
I'm
feel great.
also sending out energy. So, yeah, it's a great starting point, for when you go out in the world, or when you wake up in the morning.
Yes.
Thank you to the universe, to
And
spirit.
being grateful for food really makes a difference too.
Ooh, food.
I've been doing that like for a few years. I know a lot of people pray over food, and I always like that when people. I don't do it, but I never. My family didn't do it, but when I go into other people's houses with their parents or family, they do it. I love that praying over food, not necessarily for religious reasons. I just like to feel grateful for this food,
Mm,
and it makes the food better, and I feel happier when I'm eating it. It's hard to explain, right? It's just like
And
I
you're absorbing more of it, maybe. You're absorbing
maybe
more of the nutrients of it because you're
maybe yeah
understanding the energy exchange, right?
yeah
You're
yeah.
understanding that, look, this is something that my body is needing to, be happy. We'll just start there. But really having gratitude, like you said, you're getting more out of it. Really,
Yeah,
that's the bottom
yeah, and
line
I do have
in
a
many
problem with
ways.
like the cycle of life anyway, life and death, like the vicious cycle of life and death, and nature and rah, dinosaurs, stuff like the giant bugs. I don't know, stuff like the death and life cycle. I know it's probably just this life, hopefully, or Earth or something. I don't know, but I don't like it, and that gives me hope, though. What you're saying, like that, I
Mhm.
can have a different perspective on that too. What you're telling me gives me a different perspective on looking at life
Mhm.
that way too,
Mhm. Yeah, that's
instead of hating
beautiful.
that cycle so much, or more like, I don't know, it gives it a purpose, like kind of looking at it like that. It gives it a reason. And
Mhm.
that's not disgusting or no
Yeah.
reason's a worse reason. I think, if there's no
Mhm.
reason to the cycle of life and death, well, that's just impossible
It
because we're
is.
all
That would make it hard. That would make it hard.
Yeah, I can't imagine being a true atheist. A true atheist, I think they still believe in atheism, right? But someone who
Yeah.
doesn't believe in anything at
Mhm.
all, just doesn't
Mhm.
feel like there's anything out there that
Mhm.
loves them. That just makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Anything out doesn't have to be a higher power. It could just be imaginary friend, anything. Some people really don't feel connected to anything. And I
Mhm.
feel like those people, like a lot of those people, I was like that when I was younger. And I wish I could just, it's part of the reason I do the podcast is hopefully there's people that are listening somewhere and they'll be like, well, maybe I can change something about my situation, like I was at some point. And I
Yeah,
did.
yeah, we're all awakening at different times, and so someone right now listening to this podcast is asking themselves that same question, like,
Yeah.
"Hey," and that's exactly the goal here, is to, sprinkle or let that light ripple out,
Yes.
and help others with it, and know that, look, you're good. You're part of this amazing creative energy that is really eternal.
Yeah.
It's
And some people,
eternal.
though, they're like, what's the point, though? The point is to feel good and happy and love. Does it feel love? You don't ask what the point is, right?
Well, and maybe the point is, as we move, well, I don't know. I'm sure there are many points, but what I came to mind for me was, gosh, I mean, moving through this world, we learn deeper love, we learn
Yes.
deeper compassion, we learn deeper kindness, and if we're lucky, we get some bits of wisdom along the way, because we're all students here on the path. And look, hopefully, we can make it fun and enjoyable along the way. Because really, laughter, it's the
Yes.
best. It's the best, right?
It
Laughter
is.
is the
Yeah.
best. Having a great time really is stepping into the naturalness of who we are too. So the deeper aspects, they're going to open up on their own.
Yes.
And all we can encourage people to have is an open mind, an open heart, be kind,
That's right.
Be kind to ourselves, right?
That's the first person you got to be kind to, ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
That's where we're going. It's kind of hard sometimes, instead of spending it on your kids, spend it on you. Don't buy your kid that baseball. Get yourself some fake acrylic nails. Do it. A lot of mothers will always put everything before themselves, especially like if their kids can function and do their own thing at 10 and 12 and stuff. It's like, go relax, go do something for yourself. Listeners, if you're a parent and you spoil your kids rotten, spoil yourself rotten for a day anyway.
Right. Do the same for you. Right. Do the same for you.
Yeah, do it to you. See how that feels. And you'll know how your kids feel. They feel loved probably. And lastly, Cheryl, I want to thank you again for coming back, and you're welcome back. We'll have to have those conversations. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And listeners and watchers, I love you. And Cheryl, do you love the listeners and watchers?
Oh, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. And really, there's a reason why you're listening to this podcast. There's a reason why you're connecting with your higher truth. And look, if any of this information resonates with your listeners, Lisa, I would say that's your soul speaking to you. And I know that you brought a lot of truth to your podcast, and you do that every show. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. That's really sweet. And listeners, don't you love her? Watchers, don't you love her? I do. Anyway, I will let you have your life back, Cheryl. And listeners and watchers, wherever you may be, I hope you're happy as a clam, and peace out. Bye.